Loose. Kensmill's got it. They've got a timeout. They don't use it. Bade! Yes! The Lumberjacks have done it! The Lumberjacks.
Welcome back to the Clipboard. I'm your host, Coach Chuck, with my other co-host.
It's your boy T-Rob, a.k.a. Coach Rell. We here.
How you been? Been a little 2-week break.
I've been good, man. A couple things been happening, but maintaining.
Okay. Well, before we even start, want to get to some sad news. Unfortunately, a Newark legend, a friend, Keon Lawrence, passed away this past Friday due to complications from the flu.
Yeah.
32 years old. I've known him since maybe I was 16 years old. Stud on the court, but more importantly than just being a legend in basketball, he was also a father,
Definitely
a great father, a friend. So I want to send my condolences out to his friend and also his family.
Definitely sending my condolences to his friends, family, his extended family, basketball friends, just everyone that even looked up to him. This was a hard one for the city. A lot of people took this really, really hard because of the way he died. It wasn't like it was some typical street stuff. It was a complication, something that can't really be explained.
Yeah, and then Keon just had a good spirit. And if you ever been out and Keon was there, he already had the hookah. So he was my guy. You know what I mean? He was always two-stepping, just a good dude,
dancing,
man. Yeah.
Singing, karaoke's.
So, sometimes in death there's a lesson to be learned. Sometimes you just got to give people their flowers. Want to give people their flowers. I spoke to Keon. I have been seeing Keon a lot over the last, let's say, 2-3 months. He actually came to the crib. He was actually supposed to do the podcast. And, sometimes you don't get to say bye to people, Death just happened, and, you never got to say, yo, you was a good dude, I fuck with you, whatever the case may be. So, just want to give people their flowers before, it's too late. They can't smell them no more. So, just want to give them a little quick 10 seconds silence, in memorial of Keon. All right, cool. All right, and lighter news, let's get straight to it, man. Let's get to the NBA, man.
Oh, yeah.
Luka Doncic, man, he been tearing the league up, bro. A couple triple-doubles for almost like a week and a half straight. They just beat the Lakers last night or 2 nights ago? Mm-hmm. Is she the MVP?
I told you this the first episode.
So you think he's the MVP?
Right now, who else?
I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo got the Bucks with if they don't got the best record, they got the second best record in the league. He killing it. I think Luka's definitely up there, and I think people want to anoint him the MVP because you get tired of hearing the same people. James Harden, Antetokounmpo won last year. LeBron's always in talks. You get tired of hearing the same people. He's a new face, so I think that's why people like, all right, let's go Luka.
But he deserves it.
You think he deserves it over Giannis?
Right now? 39-9.
Okay.
30.
And what's their record? Look up their record.
Let's look up their record. What's their record?
Because I think people forget what Giannis is doing. He's averaging 31 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 57% from the field.
Okay.
And the Milwaukee Bucks are 18-3. On a 10-game winning streak.
So let's see what Dallas record is. What's Dallas record?
13-6. 18-3, 13-6. Average the same amount of points. I average 13 rebounds, so I average 4 more rebounds. You average 3 more assists.
Yeah.
And my team got a better record.
Okay. And who played harder competition so far?
Look, I don't know. It's 19
Dallas.
games. How? Because they played the Lakers twice. They lost once and won once.
Yeah.
Who else they beat?
They beat a lot of teams. Obviously, 13 of them.
Okay, so you say they played the better competition.
Yes.
Why? It's the NBA. They play the same teams.
No. So you just said they played the Lakers twice. The team with the best record in the league. They played them twice.
They beat Houston.
Okay.
Playoff team.
Wait, who we talking about?
The Bucks.
All right.
They lost to Miami. They beat Cleveland. They beat Boston. Well, they lost to Boston. Orlando. They beat Toronto. Beat Minnie. Beat the Clippers. The Lakers didn't beat the Clippers either. They beat the Clippers. They lost to Utah. Beat OKC, Chicago, Indiana, Chicago, Atlanta, Portland, Detroit, Utah, Atlanta, Cleveland, Charlotte, New York.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Let's look at these. Let's look at their record. Let's see. We have. They beat Washington,
Stinks.
New Orleans,
Stinks.
Denver.
Good.
They lost to the Lakers. Beat Cleveland.
Stinks.
Beat Orlando.
Stinks.
Beat Memphis.
Not average.
Yeah. Don't go
They're
there.
okay. They're not
Beat
good.
Toronto.
Okay.
Beat the Spurs.
Stinks.
Spurs okay.
Spurs 7-14. They stink. And the Grizzlies 6-14. They stink.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Golden State.
Stinks.
Cleveland.
Stinks.
Houston.
Good.
Phoenix.
Average.
Above average.
9 and 10.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
right.
They've been on a losing streak.
Guess what? Beat the Lakers.
Good. So they beat 3 good teams.
All right. How many teams did Milwaukee beat? That was good?
Probably the same amount. So they can't say they faced better competition. It's been about the same. No?
No, I gotta see. Let's
I
go through
just-
that list again. I gotta see. I don't know about that.
Oh, my God.
I really don't know about
They
that.
beat
I'm not going
Houston.
with that. Okay.
They beat Houston.
Yes.
They beat Toronto.
Okay.
They beat the Clippers.
Okay.
They beat the Pacers. What? You told me the motherfucking Phoenix Suns.
But
and
you ain't give it to me.
Okay, check Indiana record. They have a winning record.
All right. Cool.
And they top 5 in the East. Portland, that's without Melo. They beat Utah. Playoff teams. That's 5 playoff teams. And they beat Detroit.
Utah just lost by 50.
Everybody gonna have a bad loss on their schedule.
And then they was down by 30 the next game. Utah trash.
They trash, but they are 12-9 and 6th in the West.
Trash. You just lost by 50. I don't want to hear that.
Whatever. I think what it is the league hasn't had a great white hope since Larry Bird. I don't really include Dirk in that. Dirk wasn't the face of the league. He was never the face. He was always an all-star, perennial all-star. He won MVP, but he was in the era of Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan. He was never looked at above them. I think they're trying to put
I get what
Doncic
you're
up there.
saying, and I get where you're trying to go with it, but he deserves it. Like, all right, let's just say even if it's even, like they're the 2 leading candidates for MVP, right or wrong.
Yeah, but you just gave it to him over Giannis.
Because I picked him early. That's why.
Man, get the
I
fuck out.
I picked him early.
Listen,
Did
bro.
I not pick him early?
So you 31, 13, and 6, 57% from the field. That's crazy.
No, it is. I'm not taking that away from it. It is.
If he ever gets a jump shot, he's probably the most unstoppable player in the league.
Yeah, it's a big if.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going with Giannis right now,
Okay.
and I think
I'm not saying that that's wrong.
I think Luka feasted those 3 weeks when he was playing Hillside High and American History, and Shabazz when he had them triple doubles.
All right. He did what he was supposed to do. What the,
Hey, man.
when you great, you don't take nights off because the team trash.
Whatever, man. Get off Luka. Let's get back to my boy, man. Player of the week, man. Player of the week.
I told a biased pick, but okay.
Why is it biased?
Man, it was an okay week.
Why is it okay?
What was great about it to make him player of the week?
Because he ain't playing a whole entire year.
I get that, but what did he do that was so much greater than what other people have been
He
doing?
didn't play in a whole. He playing with a new team, new system.
Yeah.
Ain't playing a year.
Yes.
Averaged 23, 7, and 4.
Okay, so
And they went 3-0.
So you're saying nobody else in the league right now
In the Western Conference? Who?
Yes. What did James Harden do?
He had the one game. He had 60.
And what about his
And that
other
was at
games?
the end of the week.
And what do you have the other games? At least
Look
30.
it up.
At least 30. I'm going to look it up for you right now. Come on.
And look their record up, too.
Let's go. This is simple.
But you saying he had 30. He averaged 37.
Exactly my point.
So it's nothing. He does the same shit. They're not going to give you an award when you do the same shit over and over. It had to be something that you. It had to be something.
So you're punished for being consistent?
Yes, you are. Is
Why?
That
That doesn't make sense.
If that's the case, LeBron James is the MVP every year.
He should be.
But he isn't. So you just prove my point. Exactly.
I'm not proving your point. I'm saying the system is flawed. If that's the system that they're judging by, the
That's
system
been
is flawed.
That's been the system forever. LeBron has
flawed.
been consistently, and I'm not even a LeBron fan. Y'all know that.
60, 34, 32, 37.
And he averaged 38. So
that's not a better week than Melo.
So the game
You're telling me that's not a better week than Melo?
Listen to what I'm telling you.
What are you
the games that he, besides the 60-point game, he scored less than he averaged. Melo was averaging 14 his first 2 games back. Yes?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes? Because it's based off what you do in those games compared to what you normally do. No? So if he averaged 14.
That's what I'm saying. All right, go ahead.
All right, so Spencer Dinwiddie, for example, he won Player of the Week.
Yeah.
He's always been killing. When Kyrie first went down, he was averaging 18. Okay. He didn't win Player of the Week, but the next week he averaged 25. Giannis was still averaging 30, but Spencer Dinwiddie averaged 25, something he normally doesn't do. So he won Player of the Week.
All right. So I'm going to just average 2
You
points.
sound like a hater.
This is what I'm going to do. So whoever's averaging 2 points, let them come average 10 and they get Player of the Week. That's what you're saying? That's what I'm... Exactly.
10 points per game.
Exactly.
10 points per game.
But he was averaging 2, though.
So 23.
So he was averaging 2.
23.
He just went up 5 times his average. He doesn't deserve it?
That's a minimum stat, bro.
What does that mean? He just went up 5 times his average.
So you know what you are?
What?
You're one of the people who say, yo, this kid did this and now he does this, so we got to. No, fool. Look at it for what it is. This man just came back
when
for
I just
a year.
said look at it for what it is. Now you want to change it up.
Yeah, I'm telling you what it is.
Be consistent with your argument.
I am consistent with my argument.
Not.
Yes, I am. I'm telling you, this man got off the couch. He ain't played in a full year, went to a new team, new system. He went somewhere where they had 2 people averaging 20 already. He averaged 20 at the 3rd option, shot over 50% from the field, 7 rebounds per game, and they went 3-0.
Okay.
James Harden does what he normally does.
Yes.
So you're going to give the award to somebody who does something that he normally does over somebody who did something that ain't been done in a minute? Explain to me.
When I just said that, you said that's a minimum stat.
10 points per game is never going to get Player of the Week, and you know that. So don't.
He jumped up 5
it doesn't
times
matter.
his average.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 10 points per game.
It doesn't matter.
Because you know why? You know why it doesn't matter?
Chuck. I know because you making an argument.
No, because
Chuck.
you're being
I know
ridiculous.
That's why it doesn't matter.
Because in the league, there's 500 players, and there's out of the 500, 350 of them average 10 points per game. So they're never going to give Player of the Week to somebody who averages 10.
Okay. Cool.
No?
All right, cool. You win.
No, I'm asking you a question. If 350 people average 10 points per game in the league,
but
and one person
that's not true though.
Yeah, it definitely is.
350 people average.
It's 40 people that average over 20 right now.
It's 40 people.
You want to look it up? You want to look it up?
I'm gonna go with you.
No. We got
40
smartphones.
people.
We got smartphones.
So we're gonna go through everyone's stats.
No. You know they got the scoring leaders.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go to scoring leaders. It's not 40 people that average over 20. It might be 20.
27.
That's not
27.
40.
And then with another 7 people averaging 19, 0.4, 0.6. Okay, so whatever the case may be. Let's say 27, you rounded up to 30. I was 10 off. Cool. All right, now you keep going
13
down.
off.
All right.
Let's be accurate
13
here.
off. Oh, my God.
If we're going to report, let's report accurately, sir.
All right, so go on your computer and pull a complete list up then.
For what?
And now it's for what? Now it's for what? You just said let's report accurately. Now it's for what? All I'm saying is Melo has done something that ain't been done. Name the last person who ain't played in a year, a full entire year. No competitive basketball, no league, no G League, no overseas, no high school, no college, no pro-am, no nothing. Just working out to come off the couch and jump up averaging 20 plus when everybody said he was done.
Bro, he wasn't off the couch. He was working with C. Barkley every day.
Well,
you look on Instagram. You see C. Barkley post Melo workouts.
Did you hear what
every
I just
day.
said? I said no competitive league. I said no NBA.
Said off the couch.
No. Oh my God! I work out, motherfucker. If I come and go to the league, they gonna say I'm off the couch. I ain't played nowhere. You know what's the difference between working out and actually playing?
It definitely is.
Okay.
Honestly, let me be real. I commend Melo for what he's doing.
No, you don't. You hating on my boy, and I think we about to shoot the fade. I think we about to shoot the fade.
You don't want that sauce.
Man, all right.
You don't want that sauce.
Me and Melo fuck you up.
You see how I add Melo in, right?
Yeah.
Me and Melo.
Yeah. Me too. It don't matter. Just me.
Anyway, but nah.
He ain't played in no
all
league.
seriousness, like Melo, he came back and he's proven everyone wrong. Like everyone was doubting him, saying he's washed. He can't do it anymore. He don't deserve to be in the league. Now he's coming back and he's showing why he belongs in the league. I've personally always felt that he belonged in the league. Melo has been one of my favorite players since he was at Syracuse. He's not my favorite player, obviously. He's not my
favorite player. Shaq.
Shaq's not in the league no more.
That's still your favorite player.
He was one of my favorite players. I like Shaq. He's the most dominant player in the life.
Whatever. All right. So, Melo, point blank period, he proven the critics wrong.
Definitely.
A bunch of people said, yo, He can't play in this league. He's a ball stopper. He doesn't shoot the three efficiently enough to play in this league. And I think he's just showing that sometimes in the league a narrative gets written and people just like to go with the narrative. It's never been proven. You know, I think he played in two bad systems, OKC and Houston. If you look up the usage rate for players right now, Russell Westbrook and James Harden in the top 10. They're on the same team. So he played on those two teams. He's a natural-born scorer. He wasn't getting the ball as often as he is now. You got to think he's the third option in Portland, but the ball movement is totally different in Portland than it was in OKC.
And honestly, I don't even think he played bad when he was in Houston. I just think they just put the blame on him because they were losing.
Yeah, 10 games. What was it, 10 games, 13 games? It wasn't enough for you to say it's Melo's fault.
20, I think, wasn't he?
Not averaging like 14, something like that. But in 10 games, and he just signed with you guys, I don't think that's enough. In the beginning of the year, and James Harden missed games, I don't think that was enough for them to say, all right, we're losing because of Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, I think that was he was the scapegoat. And
you're not telling me that some of these other players being signed are better than Carmelo Anthony.
Agreed.
And, you know, I'm a Nets fan. I wanted Carmelo Anthony to sign with the Nets, especially when KD and Kyrie was pushing him to sign. And
no, I thought y'all had a chance. I really thought y'all had a chance.
We signed Lance Thomas.
Who?
Lance Thomas. That went to Benedict.
Oh, yeah. Set the screens.
Yeah, that's who we signed over Melo. Like, that's my thing. There's no way you're telling me Lance Thomas deserved the contract, whether it was a summer league contract or whatever, over Carmelo Anthony. You can't prove that to me.
He set good screens and he rebounds.
Where is he at now? He got cut.
Oh.
He stinks.
He doesn't. I mean, he's serviceable. He rebounds and set screens.
Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say he stinks. He played in the NBA, so let me retract that.
He's serviceable.
But
he knows his role. He does his
job.
But
it doesn't. He shouldn't have got a contract over Melo, and I think Melo got like a vet minimum contract at that, so he wasn't even expensive.
No, I agree.
All right, speaking of narratives, man, this has been going on for years, maybe 6 years now.
Okay.
Steve Kerr and the Warriors. Can you hold Steve Kerr accountable?
Yep.
For what the Warriors are going to do right now? Explain.
Yep.
Explain.
Listen, if you're gonna reap the benefits when y'all winning, you got to take the blame when y'all losing. You're the captain of the ship. It all falls on you regardless. You get that blame. You better get these young boys playing a certain way. There's no reason y'all should be at the bottom of the bottom. You got NBA-level players, point blank, period. Whether they're stars, whether the talent match it, you're supposed to be a superstar coach, right?
So name me a team with the talent that Golden State has right now, not the ones that's on the roster not playing, just the ones that are playing.
Yeah.
That will be competitive, that has been competitive over the course of history in the league. A team with that level of players. And competitive isn't saying they got to be top 4 in their conference. They don't have one superstar player on their team right now because everybody's injured.
They have no superstars. Okay.
They have a sub-all-star, Draymond Green. Is he even playing? He playing right now?
Yeah, he's playing.
I got Draymond Green, and everybody else is either a rookie or a journeyman. And let's be clear with Draymond Green, he was an all-star because of the team they were on. I think he's a good player. Yeah. I think he'll eventually be a Hall of Fame player just because he's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, or one-time Defensive Player of the Year, and he has 3 rings and a couple of all-stars. But who on that team outside of him can start anywhere else that's playing right now?
That can
or even be the 6th man somewhere?
They got some players that can possibly be 6 men.
Name them.
What's the name that went to Villanova? Pascal?
What team is he the 6th man on outside of Golden State?
You can name one. He's averaging like 20 right now.
Yeah, because he's getting opportunities.
Exactly.
But
that's why I say he could be a 6 man.
But if he plays,
he could be a star.
But if he plays on other teams, he isn't better than them. It's just like Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie starting, he averaging 25, but when Kyrie come back, he ain't gonna be averaging 25. That's going to drop.
But he's still serviceable.
So, well, okay, I never said they weren't serviceable.
I'm saying he's going to be a 6 man.
What team then? Name a team that he's going to be the 6th man.
Any team in the NBA.
He's not going to be a 6 man on the Nets.
Why not?
I just told you why.
Why?
Because Spencer Dinwiddie is the 6th man.
Okay, but what I'm saying is he's going to have to take someone's spot if you put them on the roster.
Whose spot is he taking? That's the question I'm asking you.
Whatever
Name
roster,
a team.
All I'm saying is if you put him on a roster, that means you have to replace somebody. So if we can put him in a 6-man spot.
Okay, hold on. He's not averaging 20 either.
What is he averaging?
I just saw.
I mean, that's because the first.
No.
Look at his last. Look at his last 4 games. Look at his last 4 games.
Averages 17.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
when his first 3-5 games he averaged like 5. Yeah.
17 and 5. Okay. So you say Eric Pascal's a 6-man. Who else? Kai Bowman. Do you know what that is?
Nah, he's trash.
Willie Cauley-Stein stinks.
He's serviceable.
He's regular.
Yeah,
Jordan
serviceable.
He's regular.
Rebound, block shots.
There's a reason there's a reason why nobody really want him
He
in the
rebounds and
offseason.
block shots. It's fine.
No.
He does what he's supposed to do.
My point being is this roster isn't capable of winning games. Period. If you're relying on a 2nd-round draft pick to be your leading scorer as a rookie, that says a lot about the roster.
Yes, it does.
So, I mean, people saying, "Oh, Steve Kerr should be able to win with this team." Name me a coach that's going to win with this team. Greg Popovich is losing with 2 All-Stars on his team right now.
All I'm saying to you is this: I'm not giving him no outs.
Listen, you know what? I think people, and this goes to, I don't want to say racism, right? But it goes back to when Mark Jackson was the coach of the Warriors. Mm-hmm. And then they fired him. They hired Steve Kerr. And everybody said that was Mark Jackson's team. Cool. Did the Warriors get better under Steve Kerr? Yeah. Offensively? Did they jump up like 15 points per game?
Yeah.
Did they go from 49 wins to 73?
When you say the points jumped up, the whole league points jumped up.
But they was a totally different offensive team
I agree
from
with that.
when Steve Kerr
I'm just
coached
making
them.
a point. You saying the points when you go to when you.
Just even the style of play.
All right, I
Efficiency,
can give you that. Yes.
efficiency went up.
Okay.
Points per game went up. Steve Kerr. Stephen Curry went from All-Star to an MVP. Klay Thompson went from, I don't even think he made an All-Star game under Mark Jackson to a perennial All-Star. Like 2.
Maybe
2 or 3. I don't know.
I don't know about no 3. Maybe 1 or 2.
Hold on. How long Klay Thompson been in the league?
Not that long. Maybe 7 years.
Let's see. Klay Thompson came in the league 2011. Steve Kerr came the first year they went to the finals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was 2014. He played 3 years. The first year Steve Kerr came, they went to the finals. No?
How many years Mark Jackson was there?
Like 3 or 4. They made the playoffs twice and they didn't make it the first 2.
Okay.
Remember, Steph Curry was hurt. But my
Yeah.
thing is, the efficiency got better. They scored better. The system just flowed better. Like, if you watch them from before, their offensive system was totally different. Now, Steve Kerr has always given Mark Jackson credit for putting the defensive emphasis on that team. He never took credit for that. But I think people were mad because Mark Jackson got fired and Steve Kerr won, and it was, Mark Jackson could have did that. Well, he had the same pieces. He didn't do it. He came in the first year. You can't be mad at somebody. If I get hired the first year and I win with the same pieces you had, like, it ain't like he got Kevin Durant that first year. He came to the 3rd year. They had already been to 2 finals by then.
What year Harrison Barnes got there?
Harrison Barnes was already there. I think he was a rookie. Steve Kerr, rookie freshman year.
Yeah, but he was a big piece.
I don't believe he was a big piece. I think he was
What?
average. I never liked Harrison Barnes like that. I mean, you're a North Carolina guy, so that's your guy. But matter of fact, to me, he might have been the reason they lost the second final. He couldn't hit a shot. He
Well, maybe.
I'm not saying he's trash, but he wasn't.
But that's why I say he was an important part, because that first year when he was winning, he was hitting shots. The second year, yes, in the final, look it up. The second year in the finals, he couldn't hit shots.
I don't really. I think more so. Kyrie and Love got hurt, and even that second year, I still think they beat him. I think the Draymond suspension hurt him, and I think everybody outside of Steph Curry, maybe Klay, wasn't making shots.
Yeah.
But I don't think Harrison Barnes was the reason they won. Iggy helped a lot.
He did help a lot.
But I don't think you can blame a coach when he's missing not just his star, not his second star, not the third star, but all 3. He's missing 3 20-point per game scores, and you're asking him to make magic. I don't think any coach in the league, on any team in the league, can take away their top 3 players and still be a winning program. And that's just, regardless. If they went to the finals 5 years straight. I mean, yeah, it's going to go on your win-loss record, but what more can you expect from them to do with the roster and the talent that they had when they are missing over
All right,
they're
so
missing a
this
combined,
is my point then.
they're missing a combined 70 points a game.
I get that. So who gets the blame? No one?
Injuries.
So-
Injuries. Like, my thing is, if a coach is doing a bad job, he gets fired. They're probably going to have the worst record in the league. Steve Kerr's job won't be in trouble at all because everybody knows at the end of the day he's missing 70 points per game. How many? 20 games? I think Steph Curry might have played 3-4 games. D'Angelo Russell might have played 3-4. Klay Thompson ain't play at all. Draymond Green missed about 10 games. And he has a mixture of rookies, first-round draft picks, undrafted rookies, and second, third-year players.
I forgot your boy on the team. He got an all-star.
Who?
D-Lo.
He hasn't played.
Well,
He's hurt. That's what I'm telling you. Kai Bowman starts.
how long D-Lo been hurt?
He signed with his thumb. He played like 4 games.
I don't watch a Golden State game, as you can see.
Yeah, so, ice in my vein. He's a Brooklyn Net. I looked out for him. He had like a 50-point game.
He doesn't play for Brooklyn anymore.
I said he was. The key word is was.
He doesn't play for Brooklyn anymore.
Whatever, man. And I tell you, the Bulls get one win, and he feels entitled.
Yeah.
All right,
Get
man.
my twerk on.
Me personally, I think you could. I mean, if you want to just go off facts, I mean, I guess Steve Kerr is going to get the blame. But if you're a reasonable person and you're looking at it, I don't think anybody's going to blame anybody who's losing, who hasn't had 70 points per game on their roster.
No, I get it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it falls on who it falls on.
So let me think. Actually, if LaMarcus Aldridge get hurt, DeMar DeRozan get hurt, and let's say Bryn Forbes get hurt for San Antonio, and they lose their next 10 games, and now they're 7-24.
Yep.
You think anybody's saying, "Yo, this Pop fault"?
That's what the thing. I feel like it's going. It doesn't matter what they're saying. That's who it falls on.
I disagree.
It's not, so who does it like?
Because this is my thing. Like, yeah, the blame goes somewhere. Cool.
Yes.
But when
that's all I'm saying.
In life, there's a balance. There's a scale of things. When you put the Lakers on the scale and then you put the Golden State Warriors on the scale and the Golden State Warriors lose by 20 and you look at that roster, there's nobody who's thinking they're going to win with that roster that they have. So, yeah, you can say, yo, I blame you because y'all went to the finals and now you can't get a win with this team. But when you look at that roster, how many teams are they beating with that roster?
No,
on a consistent basis.
Like I said, I get what you're saying, and I'm just saying if the blame is going to fall somewhere, that's where it's going to fall.
No, I blame injuries.
All right, I guess.
You know, I don't see any coach. This is why I can't blame a coach.
The Patriots always do next man up.
Yeah, football is totally different. Football has 53 players, 11 on the field at one time.
Next man up.
Basketball has 17 if you count the two ways.
Let's take it back. Let's take it back. When my Bulls lost Derrick Rose for a whole season, we were still competitive.
You lost one player.
Yeah.
You still had Luol Deng. You still had Ben Gordon. You still had Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
You still had people on your team who were serviceable. Nate Robinson was a 6th man. They lost Steph Curry, 2-time MVP. They lost Klay Thompson. They lost D'Angelo Russell. That isn't the same at all.
Man, listen.
That isn't the same at all.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Name a coach. This is my thing. If you could place the blame on a coach, then name another coach in the league who could win with that roster.
Me.
All right, here you go. All right, let's get to college, man. You just got to cut them off at that point, right? Parity's back, man. Mid-majors are upsetting the high majors, as you heard on the intro. That was Stephen F. Austin getting it still, beating Duke at the buzzer.
Yep.
North Carolina lost this past weekend to Michigan, who was unranked at the time.
Where are they ranked now?
They just lost, so I don't know where they're ranked
number 4.
They're ranked number 4 because they beat you.
Yes, that's a good team. I don't know why they weren't ranked.
I don't know. Listen, man.
That's their
Parity's back.
This is their first loss.
Okay.
They played good competition and they beat
played
good competition.
2 ranked teams. They beat you and Gonzaga.
Yes. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Parity's back.
Team. It's a good team. You can't say that. They're not a mid-major.
This is my thing. Okay.
Michigan is not mid-major.
It doesn't matter. Were they ranked before they played you? Were you expected to win? Were you the favorites in that game?
Yes.
Okay, and you lost.
We did.
All right, so don't sit there acting
But you're saying
mid-major
and all. No. Mid-majors.
Listen, don't tell me about the results afterwards, man. All I'm saying is parity is back.
You're saying parity is back as opposed to mid-majors beating high majors.
Because
both high majors.
How often does the top 10 team lose in college basketball to teams that aren't ranked, regardless of high major or mid-major?
How often do an unranked team jump to number 4?
It has been 7 times in history.
History.
Okay.
Not this year, not last year.
But what does that have to do with
history?
But you answering my question with a question. How many times does a top 10 team in the country lose to an unranked team? Not a ranked team, an unranked team.
I'm not sure.
Doesn't happen like that every single year. Maybe 5 times. It's happened 3-4 times in this week. Yes. So Duke lost to Stephen F. Austin. Kentucky lost to Evansville.
Don't bring up the UNC Michigan because that's not included in that.
To me, it just goes to show that regardless, whatever the case may be, you're biased. You're a North Carolina fan. I just don't think that these rankings really mean anything that more right now because you guys are ranked top 6. Mm-hmm. I don't think you guys are a top 6 team in the country. I think that goes a lot off your history and everything. I'm a Seahawks fan. We ranked 13. I don't think we're a top 13 team in the country. Michigan State started the season number 1. They're ranked number 11 now. Mm-hmm. They've lost 2 games. So it's a lot of teams who still are undefeated that ain't ranked. Yeah. But I go to say this, mid-major basketball, I don't think they're scared of high majors anymore. But let's say, why do you think that the gap is closing?
I mean, for me, it's pretty simple. You have the high major schools that are getting a lot of one-and-done kids. So a lot of their players are still young. They don't fully understand how to play the game at the collegiate level. So they get into college with all this high school reputation and abilities, and now they got to transfer that into the college ranks. So a lot of times it takes a while. It takes a couple games, almost to mid-season, before it really clicks for them and they understand how to play at that level, as opposed to a lot of these mid-major teams where they're getting older guys, they've been there for a while, they know how to play. So now they know how to play, and they're playing twice as hard as these young guys because they have something to prove. A lot of these young guys are here just to get through the season and get to the NBA.
I think that has a part in it, but I think more so is the depth of these one-and-dones. For example, Duke lost three players last year.
Yep.
Now they got to get 3 new players, but they aren't at that same level. 1 year, Kentucky had, I think, 7 people go to the draft. Mm-hmm. The year with Cat, and you got to replace all that productivity regardless of who you bring in. It's hard to keep bringing in top level because some kids may be ranked top 10, top 15, and they're really not that good. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So now you bring these kids in, you don't have the same depth, you don't have the same continuity as these other teams. Like you said, they've been playing together for 2-3. Experience plays a part, but I think that like them playing in the EYBL, that's high major basketball, they're playing against majority of kids going D1. But I think that continuity has a lot to do with it when.
But this is the thing when you say they're playing against the high kids that are high level D1. Yeah, they're playing against kids that are potentially high level D1. Those guys haven't played at high level D1 level yet. They're playing each other. They haven't played those actual college players that are as basically grown men, more physical, more knowledgeable. They know how to cut. They know how to set screens properly. They know how to do certain things besides just run and jump.
I mean, I say you could say that. But if you look at it now, if you name the top 10 players in college basketball, maybe 4 of them are freshmen. You know, Cole Anthony.
Yep. My guy. Anthony
Edwards, who just had 37 the other night. Mm-hmm. James Wiseman. Like, it's a freshman at Indiana. His last name is I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Tracy or something like that. Mm-hmm. He's their leading scorer, averaging 16 points per game. So, yeah, I can get it. I think that when you're looking at maybe out of the top 100 freshmen, 50 to 60 of them are going to be productive, and they're playing each other in night in and night out during EYBL. But my thing is there's no continuity with these teams, especially in the beginning of the season. Yeah, you have practice and you have some preseason games, but it takes a little bit longer to know where this guy likes his spots at. And like for example, I think Duke got a white boy that come off the bench. I want to say he might have been like the 9th man last year. He like the 6th man now. You know what I mean? He barely was playing last year.
Yeah.
So they don't have that same depth. They don't have that same continuity. But I think it makes for a better NCAA tournament because now you just can't say like I remember when Catton was in. I'm saying, oh, Kentucky's going to the Final Four. They probably playing Duke. That's when they had Okafor and Coach K tricked it off against Wisconsin. Okay. But you could predict it, like who you thought was going to be in the Final Four. Like if you ask me who's in the Final Four right now, I have no clue.
But, I mean, I feel like it takes time before you can really pick a Final Four. Like, from the beginning of the season, I don't think anybody is ever able to just pick from the beginning of the season. It takes at least, like, 15 games in.
Nah, when Catton was there, I said they was going to the Final Four that year.
Okay.
Just look at that roster. Okay. You already knew. Cat, Devin Booker, the Harrison twins, Tyler Ulis.
I feel like everybody was saying that about Memphis at the beginning of the season until they seen them play.
I think
some of them still, some people still feel like they're going to make it to the Final Four.
Not me. I think. Well, I'm just talking about me in general. I think that after that year at Kentucky, when they had that roster that I'm saying, it was never a team that was that loaded. I mean, the Duke had the top 3, but the rest of their roster.
That's what I was just about to bring up. I said everybody was saying that about Duke.
Yeah, but I didn't like the rest of their roster. They had no bench. I wasn't like the biggest fan of Trey Jones.
I like him, honestly. And I don't even like Duke.
He's the same player.
I hate to say that. Can I take that back? Edit that.
He's the same player as his brother to me. I mean, I've never been a Duke fan. Maybe that's a bias, but I never really liked him.
I think he's a really, really, really good college point guard.
I guess. I mean,
I watched a couple Duke games. Yeah, I did. I watched a couple Duke games, and just seeing him play in big moments.
I mean, you talk about this year or last year?
Both.
I mean, because I think it's easy to play when you got 3 first-round picks on your team and your responsibility are minimal.
But it was games where they was stinking it up, and he had to put the team on his back. Like,
I don't think he put the team on his back. I think he did responsibility, play defense, maybe get to the rim a couple times.
I seen him step up in moments when Duke was looking around like they didn't know what to do, and he was like, "I got us." And he right the ship.
We'll come back next episode with a report because I want to see what game. Cause me personally, and I'm not hating on him. They just ain't had no Duke bias or whatever. I just don't see it coming from him. I think he's a solid point guard. I think he's a defensive player. I think he can get to the rim every now and then, but he's not like when I saw Cam Reddish, when I saw R.J. Barrett, Zion. I'm like, all right, yeah, they're legit. Definitely. When I saw Trey Jones, I was
but I feel like.
I think you could took.
This is what I feel. I feel like when people look at these college players, they look at them as opposed to what they're going to do in the NBA as opposed to what they're doing in college.
No, I just look at him like his brother.
But you holding that against him.
He's the same exact player as his brother. You don't remember Tyus Jones?
Yeah, so where's his brother at?
Yeah, in the league.
All right, cool.
Okay, but what is he doing in the league? My thing is, I never said he wasn't going to make it to the league, but he's not. Okay. Miles Powell, they have Trey Jones to be a first-round draft pick. This is going to segue to our next topic. Yeah. Miles Powell averages 23 points per game. He played 3 minutes one game, was hurt, didn't score. Yep. Right? You take that game out, he averaged 27. They have him being anywhere from undrafted to late second round. Trey Jones, who might average 11 or 12, is projected to be a late first-round draft pick. Why? Because what does Trey Jones do better than Miles Powell?
He's a true point guard.
Are there true point guards left in the NBA?
That's a couple.
Like, they're going to positionless basketball. So, if this was 97, I would agree with that. Right now, I can't really agree with that. Because Ja Morant's not a true point guard, but they got him playing the point.
He definitely averaged more than 11.
How much average?
It's not showing his average, but I'm looking at his games. He had 31 one game.
Let's see. Well, I'm about to put Tyus Jones.
Yeah, he averaged something like that.
Regardless.
15.
Okay, 15 compared to 23. And if you take that one game away, 27. I don't see that he's averaging 15, 4, and 7. And Miles Powell is averaging who's a candidate to be player of the year.
What position is he going to play?
Combo guard, just like everybody else. Just like everybody. I mean, this is my thing.
I like Miles Powell, so I don't even want to have this.
There's probably
comparison.
There's probably 7 pure point guards left in the NBA, or 10, or something like that. Like they're putting anybody at point guard right now. As long as you have the size. Spencer Dinwiddie's not a true point guard. He's a combo guard.
Okay.
He played when Kyrie's in the game and they play together. He played a 2. Kyrie not there. He played a point. I don't think Trey Jones is able to do both. He can't play off the ball. I think Miles Powell can bring.
He's not a scorer. He's not a scorer at all.
So this is more than my point. Miles Powell can play with the ball in his hands. He might not be the creator, but he can initiate the offense. Oh God, he can play with the ball in hand. Pause. He can initiate the offense. He might not be the creator, but he can get you into your sets, run your offense. He can play off the ball. He can score. He can go to the rim. We all know he can shoot. The only thing that I think that Trey Jones can do at an NBA pro level that Miles Powell can't is play defense. So my thing is, and the league isn't even generated off defense anymore. There's so many rules to make it more points, more scoring.
Yeah.
I don't think that would lead from you going from one person going late first round to somebody being late second undrafted.
I mean, the league is also built off potential too. Jones is a sophomore. Powell's a senior.
I don't. Can you see Trey Jones getting that much better? I mean, I just don't. I think he is what he is. I just think he is what he is. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't see him being
This is the thing, though. Will Miles be able to score at that level in the NBA? Or will he be able to score consistently in the NBA?
Miles Powell can shoot it. So, yeah, I think he'd be able to score. Will he be the 20-point-per-game scorer that he is now? Probably not, but he can run off screens J.J. Redick-like, Kyle Korver-like. There's always a place in the league for a shooter. James Jones was playing in the league with LeBron until he was 47 years old. So I think there's always a place for somebody who can shoot in the NBA.
What's the guy from that's on Cleveland right now? Garland?
Darius Garland. But Darius Garland, he's nice. He get to the rim. Yeah. Athletic.
What I'm saying is that can Miles Powell be as good as him?
I think Darius Garland is more athletic than him, and that takes him to another level. But as far as offensive game, I don't see him way better than Miles Powell. Okay. I just think he's athletic. Miles' biggest default to me is he's just not athletic. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not going to get to the rim and punch it on somebody. He's not overly fast or anything like that. But I don't think you can find many players in college basketball right now who can shoot it better than him, who can put the ball in the hole better than him. Like, right now, who's a better college basketball player than Miles Powell right now?
But, see, my boy, he got locked up the other day, so I can't even.
Who?
My boy at Marquette.
Oh, you talking about Marcus Howard?
Yeah. They clamped him up, so I can't even throw his name in there.
But, I mean, you can because he had 51, he had 40. But
yeah,
this is the thing. This is the thing, though. Miles Powell literally has no offensive help at Seton Hall.
Okay.
Like, they're a top 20 team based off them bringing back almost everybody from last year, and they play really, really good defense. They have 2 7-footers. But offensively, almost everything is on Miles Powell's shoulders. True. Night in, night out. If he doesn't score, they're definitely going to lose. Marcus Howard can score 15 points per game, or something, not 15 points per game, but he can have a 15-point game night, and they'll still be in the game. I don't think you can say the same for them against a top-level team.
I don't know. I don't know if they can. I feel like Marquette is built off of him. Like, you take him away, I don't know how good they're going to be.
You know what? They lost some twins. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know how good they're going to be without Marcus Howard.
So even though you said that they played, you talk about when they played Maryland, he had 6, right?
Yeah.
They played the top-ranked team. They locked that shit up. Miles Powell came off an ankle injury against Michigan State, who was number 2 at the time. He had 37. They just played Oregon. He had 32. They played I'm about to say Texas Tech. It's not Texas. Iowa State. He had another 27. He just set the all-time record for points in the tournament at the Battle for Atlantis. He's consistently scoring against everybody.
Yes.
So my thing is, who right now that's as consistent, that's a better player than him right now, that's as dominant?
That's as dominant. My boy CA, Cole Anthony.
I just seen Cole Anthony have a bad game the other day. When y'all play, who y'all play before Gonzaga?
It was a bad game, 17?
He had like 11 and 12 or something, like 11 and 9. We had that other dude had 24. But like this, Miles Powell lowest points per game is 17. And I'm not counting the 0 because he played 3 minutes. Exactly. Because he played 0 minutes. And again, he had 17. He
Bro,
sat
got
the
clamped. He didn't score.
listen. Who?
Mouse Powell.
Okay, if that's what you want to believe, I'm so mad, and because I wanted to play y'all, but the tournament was yes, I did.
You ain't want that
Because he was literally gonna get y'all 40.
Y'all not gonna give
y'all
him 40
not,
back.
No, Quincy McKnight. That's not happening against him.
Yeah,
I don't even like Quincy McKnight like that. You know that.
The Brian, you can go sing somewhere.
You saw what happened when we played Marquette last year, and he cuffed Marcus Howard up too. So my thing is this: I don't think, and this goes back to parity. This ain't the North Carolina from 3 years ago. This ain't the Duke. I don't think anybody's scared to play you guys anymore.
You don't gotta be scared to lose.
I mean, what's your record?
We lost one game.
Okay. End of the year, we'll see.
You gotta be scared to lose.
I don't think you guys are the dynamic team that you guys always were.
That's cool. We want people to come in with confidence so we can shut them all down. We good. We ain't worried.
I mean, I'm being realistic. You're being biased. That's your team, so I get it. I'm just saying, you think this is the same North Carolina team from 2005 when people walked into Chapel Hill, they knew they was walking out with an L? I think people come into Chapel Hill thinking they can upset the same way. Whoever y'all play there. The same way Stephen F. Austin just walked into Duke and was thinking, I don't care.
I'm not saying we're the same as 2005. When in 2005, even the ranked teams was coming in knowing they was losing. But I feel like if you're not ranked, if you're not of that level or that caliber, you're not coming into North Carolina thinking you're gonna win.
No, I disagree. Hold on, let me go to y'all.
You see that on the schedule, you're like, I don't want to try to get some points so it look good on my highlight tape. We're gonna lose anyway.
You really believe that?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Hold on. Let me see something. The basketball schedule, ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
See y'all schedule. Y'all played Notre Dame at home.
Yeah.
Y'all won by 10. I watched that game. That was a close game to the last 2 minutes.
Yes.
Notre Dame isn't the same team. Y'all played Weber, won by 16 at home. That's usually a 30, 40-point win for y'all.
Yes, but
y'all played Elon.
When they came in, they knew they were losing.
I don't know. They were competitive is my point.
They knew they were losing.
No, I don't know. Y'all played Alabama at home. No, that's the tournament. Mm-hmm. That's the tournament. Y'all won by 9. Mm-hmm. Alabama ain't really. Y'all played Elon. Y'all won by 14 at home. Like that. This is my thing. These teams would normally come to Chapel Hill and lose by 40, 50.
I agree.
They're competitive in these games right now. So my point is.
Then you just talk about parity.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think, and that's why I wanted to play you guys. If 2003 Seton Hall team, no, we probably get smoked. Yes. But now, I think we
different Seton Hall program from 2003. This way different. Y'all not the same program.
No, do you remember who was on my team? Then we probably wouldn't even got smoked in 2003.
Who y'all in 2003? That's what
Andre Barrett. What?
Man,
what?
And who was on our 2003 team?
What? You know what? If I should have said 2002 because we'd have beat y'all too. Eddie Griffin, rest in peace to him. Mm-hmm. Andre Barrett, Marcus Tony. We was smoking y'all boots.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Are you serious right now?
Hey, yo, let's get to another.
You smoke too much hookah, bro. Leave the hookah alone.
Never. Let's go to another part. The Georgetown scandal came out today.
Yeah, I seen that.
Feel kind of crazy for Pat Ewing. Their second leading scorer, James Akinjo, just transfers. He's not involved in any of the scandal, but he's out of there, effective immediately. They have 3 other players, Jalen Alexander, Myron Gardner, Josh LeBlanc, who have been charged or been suspected of burglary
and sexual assault.
And sexual harassment. I don't understand these kids. Like, you're in college playing Division I basketball on TV, living out your dream, and you're robbing somebody?
This is the thing. I need to see all the facts.
Let's say
because
we don't know.
Yeah, a lot of these stories, it's always 2 sides. It's 3 sides to every story. Her side, his side, and the truth. So we don't know what's what. We really don't know what's what. So it's hard for me to really speak on it. But I'm gonna hope that there's some false allegations because these kids got too much to lose. At this level, getting to that level, working hard your whole life to play collegiate basketball at the highest level possible, and then get there and do something like this is like, come on, man.
I mean, you start tending to believe it's true when's the last time you heard of like a bombshell like this in college basketball? Sexual harassment, somebody.
I mean, Nowadays, though, that's getting tossed around a lot. Not to say that things aren't happening.
I'm just saying in
but
college basketball.
It's starting to become more common where these things are not turning out not to be true. Like it's stories like I just watched a movie with Brian Brinks, the football player. Brian Banks. He got accused of something he didn't even do. He didn't even have sex with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Went to jail and everything.
I know.
So it's too many. Those stories are starting to become a little too common, and it's sad because now it makes you question this stuff now when it comes out that somebody has done something or is accused of doing something. So it's bad on both ends. It's bad for the victims that actually been assaulted, and it's bad for the guys that's being accused of something that they didn't do. So it's kind of hard to really dig into this.
The only way, and I don't want to, I'm going to just play devil's advocate. The only way, like not the only way, but the only difference to me is like Brian Banks was projected to be an NFL star. Mm-hmm. He was projected to go first or second round, I believe. These kids, like, there's no NBA. Like, you don't see their names connected with NBA. Two of them come off the bench. Like, usually when somebody, or when I don't want to say somebody. A lot of the times when it happens, it's somebody who has something going for themselves. They're trying to get some money out of these people or whatever. I don't know why they would come out and say they sexually harassed them. They robbed them. Like, they say they robbed them. Like, they ain't just say they raped them. They said they robbed them, too. So it's like, damn, my G, like, and you assaulted, not just sexual harassment, but regular assault as well. Yeah. So when you doing all three of these things, there might have been some proof. And from what I understand, is this been like the case that it's been ongoing. Yeah, it's been going on for a while now. So this ain't something that they just found out, and they just dismissed them off the team today. So maybe new evidence was maybe new evidence was brought up or whatever the case may be. But it's sad to think about that kids who worked their whole life to get something, get it exactly what they want, and they throw it down the drain. Or now, what happens to Patrick Ewing? Like, does his staff get fired? Like, what goes on with them? Like, it's a lot of things that happen. And
I need to know the details of the story more, man. I was trying to look some stuff up, but it was kind of real vague.
Real vague.
So I can't really get a real feel on what actually happened, when it happened. What was the environment, where they were at? Was there something on campus, off campus? Like, there's a lot of things. Like, coaches can't control everything. They can't be everywhere.
Nope. But at the end of the day, what you say about Steve Kerr?
Falls on him.
I mean, like if you're going to say it for Steve Kerr, sadly, you got to say it for Patrick Ewing. But I think kids should take this as a lesson that, be careful out here, man. Like, be careful. Make smart choices. Think before you do things. I'm not saying that they did it. I'm not saying that they didn't do it. But for other kids who may be in a situation with a spouse that they're not getting along with or whatever the case may be, like, ain't no reason to hit nobody. You putting your life at risk. You putting your scholarship at jeopardy. You robbing people. It's no need to do any of this stuff. There's other ways around it. Don't put your career, your name at risk, because once your name's attached to that, it never goes away. It never goes away. So be careful with that, man. But we about to get ready to wrap it up. Time for the wild performer. Second time. So who you got?
I'll let you go first, man. I went first last time.
You just want to steal my glory. Like, all right, obviously my boy Melo. Gotta say my boy, player of the week. But got Safi Abdul-Sabur, Bloomfield College. Last 3 games, he's averaging 22 points per game, 7 rebounds per game over his last 3. For the season, he averages 17 and 6. Good kid. Want to see his percentages go up a little bit, but he's carrying that team scoring load. Look like he's doing a pretty good job, so he's my wild performer of the week.
For me, I'm going to go a little off the radar. I was deciding between these 2 players, and what I'm going to end up going with, I'm going to go with Bryce Aiken.
Bryce.
Off the radar. A lot of people kind of forgot about Bryce. He went to the Patrick School, so he's kind of an out of sight, out of mind kid. He went way off the radar doing something totally different than what most kids would do. He ended up going to Harvard University. All right? So right now he's holding down the fort. He had 10 points last game against USC. Then he had 30 against Maryland. He had 32 against Holy Cross. Putting up some really, really big numbers, and he's playing the game the right way. He's getting his team involved. He's doing a lot of different things. So,
and from everything I hear, Harvard might be a little sneaky team, and the Ivy League might come out of Ivy League with I want to say at large, but they might win their
Yeah,
conference.
Right now, they're favored to win a conference.
And they're saying they can compete against these high majors.
They
Parity.
definitely can.
So shout out to Bryce. Shout out to Safi. One thing we didn't do the first 2-3 weeks is say thank you for all the listeners. We appreciate you listening. Leave those comments on the YouTube page. If you can get other people to listen, do so. We out there till next week.